Meow, meow, meow. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, meow, meow. Meow, 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 meow.
Are you singing a meowsing grace?
Meow, meow, meow.
I guess you are singing a meowsing grace.
Meow, meow.
And you have no intention in stopping, huh?
Meow, meow, meow. Meow, 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 meow.
Okay, well, I have to inform you that the stream has already started.
Meow, meow,
you just go.
meow, meow, meow.
Okay, I guess you'll be speaking exclusively in cat dialect this week, then maybe?
I could if I wanted to, yeah.
That would be totally chaotic and a waste of a stream.
Yeah. Possibly. Or it would be sheer kicks and giggles.
I guess so. So we're on air. The stream has started. Would you like to introduce yourself to the people listening?
Wait a second. I think somewhere.
Daddy! Don't!
What the hell? Tiny room. No idea.
Childhood trauma. I guess that was Daddy then.
I guess so.
Are you okay? Angela, relax.
Don't order me around!
I'm not trying to order you.
So what do you want then? Oh, I see. You're trying to be nice to me, right? I know what you're up to. It's always the same. You're only after one thing.
No, that's not true at all.
You don't have to lie. Go ahead and say it. Or you could just force me. Beat me up like he always did. You only care about yourself anyway. You disgusting pig.
Angela.
Don't touch me! You make me sick.
Those are some harsh words for the Keeves.
What?
He only has one intention.
You said your wife Mary was dead, right?
Yes. She was ill.
Liar! I know about you. You didn't want her around anymore. You probably found someone else.
That's ridiculous. I never.
I barely made that.
The protagonist kind of just lets everyone walk all over him, huh?
Yeah,
Emotionally.
seems to be the way it is.
A pretty submissive dude, huh?
That's just the way love goes. Let's see. Can I go back? I can't go back?
I do quite enjoy the voice acting in the game, though.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, bad porn acting?
I don't know what it is, but there's
Cheap porn acting?
there's something strangely comforting about well, not trying to throw shade at the people actually doing the work in it, but kind of like, you know, poor voice acting. It's I don't know, it's kind of like the junk food, comfort food kind of stuff in kind of game audio in a sense.
Yeah.
I do enjoy going back and playing older games, especially some of the older Japanese games. You know,
Yeah.
had really poor voice acting.
Yeah.
I kind of like that.
They sure did.
Specifically the English dialogue ones, right? Voice acting in Japanese has always been ultra top notch, basically, with the seiyuu industry and, well, the voice acting industry in Japan being a pretty vital part of entertainment for a really long time.
Except the big budget ones. The big budget ones always use young actors who have zero experience and talk like sticks.
Yeah.
They do cheap porn acting talk.
Yeah, it's weird because voice acting is pretty specific, huh? I see people that are actually good actors that are kind of so-so with the voice acting side. It's probably probably a really specific skill, huh?
Well, they always like the big ones. Always like hire like really young people, and they like have no idea what they're doing, so they talk like, "Oh, a door, I must go in."
I would
kind
say
of stuff.
the person who takes the cake with that would be Miyazaki Hayao with all the Studio Ghibli stuff, especially with the especially with what the hell? Wait a second. The sound is insanely low again suddenly.
What? It's low.
What the deal is this? Weird. I'm having to bring the volumes up really high for it to be a similar level of audio, which is causing some noise.
That's really weird. I suppose we can live with the noise, huh?
I guess.
Well, anyways, like I was about to say, wait, I think I can hear something.
Uh-huh.
I think I can hear the God of War speech is continuing somewhere.
It's still going on?
They're still going on.
Oh, really?
In the multiverse, they're still continuing,
And what is
bringing across the dimensions into this one too.
Wow.
The thanking to Corey Barlog continues somewhere.
Yeah, well. That was weird, huh?
He didn't make the game, and yet everyone couldn't stop thanking him so much for what he did, and it was like confusing.
Well, he laid the tracks. Well, he laid the tracks for the Ragnarok and everything enough that he didn't have to direct it. So
But isn't that just like weird?
it's kind of strange.
Dead men, swinging in a tree. How many dead men do you see? Tongue turned blue and face gone gray. Watch them as they twist and sway. The first one cooked the butcher man, then cooked him in the frying pan, served him to his hungry guests, and gave them seconds on request. The next one, with his smile and sweet, stole poor children off the streets. To men who dressed unsavory, he sold them into slavery. Breaking into a home at night, the thief he had a nasty fright, filled his foolish head with ale, woke in the morn in the country jail. The artist with his donning skill tried his hand at painting bills, but caught in rain he was undone when the ink he'd used did start to run. With promises of great return, taking gold he did not earn, bundled it up out of sight, quietly slipped off into night. 3 houses in the ashes burned, the sheriff with no place to turn, did spy a stranger in his town, locked him up and beat him down. Dead men, swinging in a tree. How many dead men do you see? 6 feet long and 6 men wide. Round their necks the noose be tied.
Whenever I see these like rhyming riddles and everything in games that are translated to English, and I'm playing it in English, I always wonder. It bugs me. I want to go back and check what it was in Japanese. Because I would imagine that's a pretty challenging thing to translate.
Yeah, I would think so,
yeah. Oh, whoa. Sound came back.
It came back.
Yep. The return of sound. Levels, to be specific. The sound levels have returned. So I'm bringing the sound levels down so it doesn't kill people's ears. Say something?
Say something?
Yeah, I'm just checking your...
Something.
Okay.
Or how about the peanuts growing up now.
Yeah. That's strangely, I don't know, it's strangely accurate. That kind of, it does, in my memory when I was really small, I did kind of remember adults kind of sounding like that. It's like,
Yeah.
what did they say? Kind of thing.
What do they say?
So anyways, going back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the person who takes the cake for poor choice in voice actors that are amateur level and high budget animations is Miyazaki Hayao from Ghibli, huh?
Yeah.
From even in Japan, people were totally having a parade with the use of Anno, the director of Neon Genesis Evangelion, voicing the main character for the Kaze Tachino movie. And
I forgot what the English title was for that.
yeah, well, it was the kind of well, it was the last movie that he made under him being in studio, being the head of Studio Ghibli.
Until he was again and started making another movie again.
Yeah.
His face is covered with a piece of paper. There's something written on it. This man was hung for the crime of murder. Justice and revenge has been served. This man was hung for crimes of swindling. Justice and revenge has been served. This man is hung for crimes of thievery. Justice and revenge has been served. This man was hung for the crime of arson. Justice and revenge has been served. This man was hung for kidnapping. Justice and revenge has been served. This man was hung for the crime of counterfeiting. Justice and revenge has been served. Okay.
So anyways, going back to that.
Yeah.
Really, if I'm pretty sure even if you don't understand Japanese, if you can manage to watch that movie in with the Japanese voiceovers, I'm pretty sure even if you don't get Japanese, you'll still get how bad the voice acting is in that.
Yeah.
Specifically, watch the kissing scene. it's 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 literally roll around on the floor levels of funny.
Really, I haven't seen that.
Yeah.
So I thought it was not funny that a director casted another director for voice acting, and the voice acting was so god awful, it made me sick.
Yeah. I heard it was terrible. So I don't. In some streaming service, random streaming service, that there was that I had, I just watched those parts because I heard it was so bad. it was so funny. it's probably worth owning just for how funny the voice acting is in it. Well, specifically on those voice acting. It's not like the other people are that bad. Which actually makes him, how bad he is at voice acting, stand out even more, and makes it even funnier. It's like they threw an amateur into a professional wrestling fight or something. He just cannot.
Like Donald Trump.
Yeah, something. He just feels so out of place within the context of the entire movie. It's bizarre.
Mm.
But I guess talking about poor voice acting in Ghibli movies isn't really the topic we should be covering.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, well, why don't we talk about games?
Yeah, well, the VGAs were there. I was
Yeah.
just talking about the
Insanely long acceptance speech by Kratos.
all of the God of War speeches were really long.
Yeah,
I
well,
mean, the speeches were so long. Even Kojima was being polite enough to keep his bit really short.
yeah, what's kind of interesting is that all the Japanese game developers that went up tried to keep their they kind of read the room,
Yeah, like everyone was like really tired of hearing people talking about
on and
stuff.
on and on, and but just to be fair, the person who took the accepted the trophy for the accessibility award that God of War Ragnarok got, that was a short and good speech, though.
Yeah,
That was good.
that was the only short one out of the God of War ones.
But on top of that, it wasn't just short; it was a good speech. So actually, I enjoyed that one.
It would have been really bizarre if the accessibility award speech was like really long.
Yeah, but it happens. You wouldn't imagine the voice actor would be talking for like 20 minutes when he accepts the speech for a major game.
That was really weird.
Yeah, and but the beginning part, up to thanking his family and saying that the best role that he's still gotten so far is playing the role of being a father to his children. Up to there, it was like a fantastic speech, and then just totally fell apart after that.
I still don't know why there was the really long part about Corey Barlog that had nothing to do with the game, and then the really long part about the director who worked on this game, and
feeling a creative connection with them and stuff like that. That's nice and everything, but maybe in an interview, not on
it's just all so strange.
Yeah. Well, anyways, I'm not trying to take a dump on the guy. He has an awesome voice, and he's a great actor, and that's fine. Everything that's
But the strange thing is though the other, excluding the accessibility ones, the other ones were really long too.
It was a little bit long, yeah.
They were like playing the music really fast, like all right, enough already.
But that was mainly because of that acceptance speech, and also Al Pacino took a part of it too.
Well, because he couldn't read the teleprompter because it was so far away.
And really, all the developers that were veteran developers, to put politely, right?
Yeah.
They all had trouble reading the teleprompters. For God's sake, what the hell happened to accessibility for teleprompters, right? The Video Game Awards does not get an award for being an accessible award show. I mean...
Definitely they don't, yeah.
I mean,
the kindness was not there for the veteran people.
Yeah, I'm not young, right? So, you know what it feels. Both of us ain't young, so you know what it feels like. Your eyesight gradually gets poorer.
Yeah.
We're both that age, so we get that, Teleprompter that's like 10 feet away, that's an impossibility, right? They gotta do something about that.
Maria?
Is that you, fake slut wife?
Maria, no. What happened to you? Why?
Fake slut wife is dead again.
Yeah. It's like the second or third time, huh?
I think second. She died in the hospital once.
Mary.
Before we go back to the VGAs, why don't I just cover the hardware sales, just briefly. The hardware sales this week for Xbox in Japan, it was the week after Black Friday, so it has gone down a little bit, but still pretty good. The Series S sold 1,575 units, and the Series X sold 279 units, put together 1,854 units. Not bad. Not awesome, but not bad. But still, I mean, they're still selling out the hardware that they get in. Whenever I go out and check the stores, any stores that sell hardware, I check, and they get the Series S's more over than the X. Generally, when they get them in, they disappear in a couple days or a week or so.
The pretty big rental store not too far from where we live gets them in, I don't know, maybe once a month, and they sell out real quick.
Yeah, in their case, they actually get a lot, a fairly large bulk in at once.
Yeah.
And then, in about a week or so, they sell out of them. So,
it's not in a very normal place, so
yeah,
it's kind of strange that they actually get so many.
It's kind of weird. But then again, that store is one of the only stores around that area that carries things like that. So I guess maybe it's destination for people that want to buy games in that area.
The final destination.
Yeah. Since I'm just covering hardware sales and talking a little bit about the Black Friday sales, the VG charts put out their estimates for the global Black Friday hardware sales. Pretty good. The sales for Xbox Series X and S globally. This is a guesstimate. The VG charts is actually seems to be recently pretty accurate. Their guesstimate of total sold hardware seems to be pretty close to what is actually put out. So anyways, during Black Friday sales globally, hardware sales for Xbox Series X was 1,206,483 units during the Black Friday week, bringing their lifetime sales estimate up to 19.86 million units. So it's probably gonna hit 20 million units next week. Probably. Globally, right?
Good to hear.
Yeah, they're doing good. The PlayStation is like 27 million or something, I think. So, they are fairly ahead, but then again, the one was like 1 to 4 or 1 to 3, was it?
Yeah.
PlayStation was like, PlayStation 4 was like, what, 120 million or something?
Yeah. Well, and
the Xbox One was, they guessed
well, in Japan, the Xbox One and PS4 was like
1 to 200.
yeah, about 1 to 200. Yeah.
That's pretty insane. It's actually a miracle that Microsoft continued to service the hardware here in Japan during that entire generation.
Again, that weird fat creep.
Yeah,
Eddie,
this guy is the creepiest thing
what
in
are
the
you
game so
doing?
far, huh?
What does it look like? He always busted my balls. You fat, disgusting piece of shit. You make me sick. Fat ass, you're nothing but a waste of skin. You're so ugly, even your mama don't love you. Well, maybe he was right. Maybe I am nothing but a fat, disgusting piece of shit. But you know what? It doesn't matter if you're smart, dumb, ugly, pretty. It's all the same once you're dead. And the corpse can't laugh.
And a corpse can't laugh.
From
That's
now
actually a
on,
pretty good line.
if anyone makes fun of me, I'll kill him. Just like that.
Eddie, have you gone nuts?
Have you gone?
I knew it. You too. You're just like him, James.
Hey, I didn't mean anything.
Don't bother. I understand. You've been laughing at me all along, haven't you? Ever since we first met. I'll kill you, James.
It sounds like Jim Ryan talking to Phil Spencer.
Black
Yeah. This is what you get, Jimbo. How do you like the taste of my stick, Jimbo?
That sounds so inappropriate.
How do you like the Spencer stick, Jimbo?
That's really inappropriate. You're offending two people right there.
Little baby, I can whoop your ass in Vampire Survivors.
That's probably true.
Whoop your ass like all the monsters that come at you.
Yeah.
And you couldn't do a damn thing about it. Could you, Jimbo?
I wonder if someone could make a mod where the main character is Phil Spencer and all the monsters that come after you on the PC version of Vampire Survivors is like Jim Ryan or something. That would be fun.
Yeah.
Just to make sure that people are listening to this. That's a joke, okay? I don't actually mean that. It's all,
Do you know what
funny
it
games.
does to you, James?
I don't know Jim Ryan personally, so I don't really develop a personal opinion toward him.
Just because of the way you look?
You know?
After you've been laughed at your whole friggin' life? That's why I ran away after I killed the dog. Ran away like a scared little girl. Yeah, I killed that dog. It was fun. It tried to chew its own guts up. Finally died all curled up in a ball. Then he came after me. I shot him too, right in the leg. He cried more than the dog.
I'm actually starting to enjoy it.
Sounds just like Jim
Gonna
Ryan.
have a hard time playing football on what's left of that knee.
He's
think it's
into
okay to
real
kill
dog.
people?
I like cats,
You need
but
help, Eddie.
I like dogs because they're
that was an ominous
Don't get all
line.
holy on me, James.
ooh creepy.
This town called
James
you too.
No, wait,
Eddie.
Eddie creepy.
You and me are the same. We're not like other people. Don't you know that? Let's party!
I feel like shooting this mofo.
Give him a taste of his own medicine.
Yeah, it's time for Phil Spencer to go hardcore on.
I promise you, Phil Spencer doesn't appreciate his name being put in that context.
It's time for me to go.
He's a tough mofo. He shot him in the back like 8 times.
What the? Oh, I was shot about 4 times.
Yeah.
I guess it's
The-
time to hear his speech again, huh?
Yeah. Well, anyways, going back to the VG charts thing, Xbox lifetime sales estimated to be at 19.86 million units. Just to add information out there, the Switch was the #1 selling console during Black Friday. It's estimated to be 1,298,185 units. And that's actually, Xbox actually did pretty good. They were pretty close at taking first place. And the PS5 was at 1,054,570 units estimated. So overall, everyone did pretty good, which is nice. It's nice to see Xbox actually outselling PlayStation. I assume that's probably because of the aggressive sales and them trying to push for the Series S units out there. So overall, good Black Friday sales. So that was good, I guess.
Yeah.
So putting that to the side, I guess we can talk about the Game Awards stuff.
Yeah.
Just kind of go over trailers that were announced and maybe talk
Yeah.
about. The Dead Cells DLC returned to Castlevania, scheduled for Q1 2023.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. They're adding an entire DLC that is Castlevania. You can actually explore the castle and
The castle and the Vania and the Castlevania verse.
yeah, and Alucard and the other
Take that, Jimbo.
forgot his name. The other Belmont. Yeah. You are there to guide you, and there is a story and everything. It looks like a really cool DLC. I actually never got around to playing that game when it was
Yeah,
on
I
Game Pass
know.
because sometimes with Game Pass I'm like, I know I'm gonna like that game. I'll just buy it.
Yeah. Well,
then you forget to play
there's
it.
also a pretty good amount of DLC for it too.
Yeah, so I wanted to get, like,
The hell?
what the? He's continuing
What
to...
the hell? How did he keep hitting me in the gut when I was mashing the stick button?
Well, he killed you with body blows. That's like the worst. Internal bleeding.
Wow, even the cheap shots are just like Jimbo. The whining and the cheap shots.
Trying to cause as much pain as he possibly can.
His whining and the cheap shots he does in the corner.
Yeah.
When he's cornered, he does nothing but cheap shots and cry about how he wants eternal exclusivity and stuff.
Yeah, well, they actually, what's interesting is that, like, you know, the FTC was like, we're gonna friggin' sue Microsoft.
We're gonna friggin' sue Microsoft because we're stupid bitches that have been lobbied with Sony money, and we love Sony. We love Sony and we love Elon, so we let him destroy Twitter and mess up the company.
He has a fast left arm.
What in the world? I don't get it. Why when he's cornered he like swings his fist at lightning speed?
I guess you're not supposed to corner him, huh?
That's just not fair.
You got emoji from Meebo Renny Meebo again. Cool cat, cool cat, cool cat, cool cat. Santa, cool cat, cool cat, cool cat, cool cat.
The mystery cat person or I don't know, spirit or whatever.
Yeah, the individual has only actually spoken to you when you were streaming Vampire Survivors.
Yeah.
They said that it was an awesome game, so...
Yeah.
But of course, a cat might be able to play Vampire Survivors.
Yeah, with its paw.
Paws. It has one paw, or maybe two paws, on the analog stick, left analog stick. A cat might actually be capable of playing Vampire Survivors. And that they might be mesmerized by the colors and the bullet hell on the screen.
I have seen stuff of cats being mesmerized by it, yeah.
Yeah, that's true, actually. That's kind of interesting. So there's still a chance that Amiibo or Amiibo, your secret admirer, that only sends cat emojis to, there's still a slim chance that it might be a cat.
Well, the stick works even less.
Seems like it.
I do not get why when he's like cornered he's invincible.
Well, I guess you should use the pole then, huh?
Yeah.
That seems to work well.
Yeah.
It's just make sure you don't corner him, and then hit him when he's in the middle of the room, and kind of get him stuck in perpetually in that motion of getting hit by the stick.
It's time to jab him some more with the Spencer stick. Time to jab Jimbo with the Spencer stick.
That sounds so wrong.
Jimbo. What the hell?
Take that, Spencer.
So Jimbo. Take that while I go running around and whining to the regulators that we've lobbied and paid off. Really? just a joke. FTC is a joke. The UK regulators are a joke. The EU regulators are a joke.
Yeah, well,
As long as you lobby and pay them off, they're gonna so like worship you, even though you're number one.
well,
And they let this racist half breed of a man, or as Kanye said, he's half Chinese or something.
that is just, like Kanye is getting into the China-phobic story arc now after the anti-Semitism story arc, huh? Like, dude, what's your problem? Oh, well, since you brought Kanye up, you know, Elden Ring won Game of the Year, deservingly,
Yeah,
absolutely deservingly.
as it should. Yeah.
And random, like, child-like adult man, like this really short dude.
Short dude.
Yeah, this really short dude that looks like a teenager, but probably isn't a teenager. Like, randomly walked up together with Miyazaki and the 4 other From Software developers.
Oh yeah, that's right. I kind of forgot that, just like everyone that was there, because they were so tired that no one reacted to that, even though it was really weird. Only after it was all over and the show was over, it's like, what the hell was that anyways?
Yeah, so anyways, the short dude that pretended to be a part of From Software staff and walked
That
up.
pretended to be a part of Bandai Namco.
Yeah, I think people were like, well, is he the translator? Maybe. But anyways, freaky short dude walks up on stage with Miyazaki and crew. And after Miyazaki is finished with his acceptance speech, which was just the right length, creepy dude, walks in between the developers to take the microphone and compliment Bill Clinton.
Oh yeah, well I didn't understand most of what he was saying, but I just heard Bill Clinton, and even after it was over, I wasn't sure if he was talking about the President Bill Clinton or the Funkadelic Supreme Bill Clinton.
Yeah, maybe he's just a really big fan of funk. I don't know. Creepy Bill Clinton fan walks up on stage and compliments Bill Clinton. Guards come and pull him off stage and arrest him. And this is where Kanye comes in. Creepy Bill Clinton fan was wearing Adidas Yeezy 500 high sneakers.
Ooh.
Maybe he's anti-Semitic or something.
The plot thinking.
It seems like Kanye is, wherever there's drama, Kanye is there. Or wherever, well, I wouldn't even call it drama, but wherever there's creepy shit going, Kanye seems to cast his shadow a little right now.
Man, this guy took a whole bunch of rifle bullets. His lord really
Eddie?
took them bullets in.
Eddie? I killed a human being.
Yeah, you had a rifle, you pointed a rifle at him, like
human being.
1 foot away from him. And pulled the trigger.
Yeah.
Mary. Did you really die 3 years ago?
What? Is this gonna go into some kind of weird stuff that his wife isn't dead, but that he killed his wife or something? Is it gonna go into that kind of like creepy kind of stuff?
Maybe. Oh, you have a comment from Yami Kawaii Dash. Yami Kawaii Dash says, "Is this your first playthrough?" Yes, it is, huh?
Yes,
Jamie?
indeed. Very confused and amused and disturbed at the same time.
Yeah. So you'll have to excuse the sloppy
Yeah.
execution.
Yeah,
Tank controls.
yeah.
Classic tank controls.
The tank controls takes quite some time to get used to. Still,
You're enjoying it though, huh?
yeah. And also, the fixed camera makes me go back into rooms I already went into just like now.
Yeah. Yami Kawaii Dash says, "What a treat." It is a treat, actually.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I'm the co-host here. I'm just watching the plays here, but it's actually pretty fun to watch too.
Yeah,
The atmosphere is great.
yeah,
The sound is still really awesome.
yeah. I also do enjoy the hokey voice acting from the original one.
Yeah, because you chose the classic voiceovers.
Yeah,
You might want to try the new voiceovers sometime when
Yeah.
maybe when you try to complete the achievements, huh?
yeah. Unfortunately, when the remake one comes out, I'm sure it won't have bad voiceovers. that would make it weird.
Yami Kawaii Dash says, "I enjoy the convention between you." Well, thank you.
Thank you.
That's actually really nice to hear, you know?
Yeah,
We actually enjoy talking with each other too, so it's nice to hear that people enjoy listening our banter.
yeah.
We aren't really professional or anything, so
We tend to be pretty ridiculous.
yeah, mostly goofing around. So.
Yeah. Thank you.
It's nice. It's nice to hear.
Yeah. Let's see.
Going off into the mistiness.
Looks like it. Reminds me of Boston. When we were in Boston, we'd see the boat things once in a while.
Oh yeah,
The like college boat teams. Was it?
is that Scully, was it? What was it? Yeah. Also, we live close to a really large lake in Boston. We would actually bring out a rowboat like this to
Yeah.
the lake and actually row the boat on the lake just like Titus is doing. We wouldn't dare go out on. This is when we were kids, but we wouldn't dare go out on a day that would be this misty.
This is weird.
For real, you control actually the left and right paddle separately. Oh. That's kind of interesting. I hope you are.
I hope I am too. Oh, I only had to hold left and right and X and I'm crawling. Dull.
You're used to the clunky older tank controls and not being very easy to the user. That when the creator actually, when the developers actually create an option in controlling the game in an easy manner, you miss it.
Yeah. Tank controls were confusing. And also, like, pushing, like, left button and A, and he was, like, moving weird.
I assume you just probably have to continue to move him forward, I guess.
Yes. Yeah. I assume I'm moving forward.
Or maybe you were pushing left and right in such a random manner that you're not moving in the direction that the developers intended you to.
Boy, I'm in trouble then.
You're gonna eternally see James rowing a boat in the mist.
Yeah, that would be pretty problematic.
Yeah. Well, since this might last an eternity, I guess we can go back to game information.
Yeah, a lot of stuff to talk about.
Yeah, the video game, the Game Awards. Atomic Heart new trailer was shown by Moonfish. As always, Atomic Heart looks really cool. It has some of the best graphics I've seen in a first-person shooter.
Yeah.
It's really impressive. Also, it was a day one Game Pass, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm very worried about it though, since it's a Focus Interactive published game. So
Yeah.
the Japanese users and people here
Are all worried about that game.
are going to get the stick probably.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, that's the same with everyone, since it affects everyone,
Yeah.
even PlayStation.
Yeah, well, just to give people, just briefly, give people an idea why Japanese gamers are concerned about any game that Focus Entertainment makes, is that their publishing partner in Japan for just the physical versions of the games is a company called Oizumi, and they don't publish the digital version. The digital version is published by Focus. Only the physical version is published by this company, and they generally only publish a PlayStation version of the game. It wouldn't be a problem if they released the game at the same timing as Focus, but they usually release their games like half a year later. And Japanese gamers have to wait half a year until that physical version comes out to play it in Japanese, even though their Focus is selling that game in Japan digitally. It used to be just a problem with Xbox, but strangely, recently, I don't know what their deal is, but the Steam version, the Switch version, and even the PlayStation 4 version of games don't have Japanese in them. The digital version, right? Until the until the actual physical version of it is released in Japan. There's a lot of speculation, this and that, but it's happened way too many times that unusually media in Japan are actually covering the issue. Automaton, I think that's how you pronounce that. Doesn't really roll well all the time, but they have extensively covered that, and they've actually contacted Boys in the Museum about this, but they've never really gotten a legit answer from them, just the normal PR stuff of you'll be able to enjoy Japanese in these games when the physical version is released on the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5. Anyway. So anyways, Steam users are furious about this, and the last game that Focus made that Boys in the Museum is publishing in Japan, they were totally tarnished in the comment section by Japanese gamers because they're like, oh yeah, that's great. You guys are releasing the physical version of that one. And just as we thought, you took the Japanese out of the digital version of the game, kind of thing. So unfortunately, any game that is made by Focus Entertainment is met with a lot of skepticism from Japanese gamers, regardless of what console you prefer, unfortunately. Because a lot of people here mainly buy digitally right now. Switch is actually still really strong and physical, but a lot of people buy digitally. I exclusively only buy digital games. Xbox, on PC, and whatnot. I just, packaged games just take up too much space for me. It's inconvenient for me. So anyways, it sucks that I I can't play these games in the Japanese until they lock that language feature out until the physical version that always releases comes out.
Yeah,
So,
and it's like so weird because with the Plague Tale, this also happened with Plague Tale, and Plague Tale still doesn't have Japanese in it. Neither does the PlayStation version or the PC version.
yeah, it's really
And
weird.
people found that at launch, the game had Japanese inside the game on the PC, and if you go into the code, you can access Japanese. So
Yeah, you can unlock Japanese
Yeah.
in the PC version even now if you know how to do it.
and also people who are upset about it have searched and found information that this Oizumi Amusio company doesn't even do the translating for the Focus published games. So
Yeah, the
they're
Focus
actually gatekeeping Japanese out of games just because they're publishing the game,
Yeah,
which
the Focus
is
version has
really weird.
Yeah, has a different version of translations. Oh wait, Yami Kawaii Dash is asking a question. Yami Kawaii Dash is asking, how do you guys feel about Bloober making the remake of Silent Hill 2? Actually, well, I'll answer first, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm actually looking really forward to it because I've played a lot of Bloober's games, not all of them, but the ones that I have played I've actually really enjoyed, and I think they have an interesting approach in storytelling through, well, environmental storytelling. Not just with words or cutscenes, but I think they have an interesting approach in environmental storytelling, and I think that artistic touch kind of fits the game, personally, because, this is just me watching. I'm not actually playing. It's just me watching. I think that, Silent Hills purposefully doesn't have a lot of dialogue and tries to tell the story through the experience and the environment and your actions and the atmosphere, right?
Yeah.
I think Bloober is a good fit with that. I'm not sure on the action parts. They haven't really been that great with action, in fact, I can't really think of a Bloober game with action in it. So I'm a little bit skeptical about that, but I do know that they were like hired people that specialize in combat systems. So I'm hopefully that won't be a problem. So that's my opinion. I actually feel pretty good about it, and the graphics look really good so far. So looking forward to it. What do you think, Jenny?
Well, I think that, I think they do a good job. I mean, they'll definitely have better voice acting in it,
That's
for sure. And, well, the combat is not the strong point of even this one.
Yeah, absolutely.
You do like swing your stick in the wrong direction oftenly when enemies are around, so
And especially attacking enemies on the ground is
yeah, that can be really wonky.
yeah. So combat isn't really the strength of melee combat isn't really the strength of this game anyways. But even given that, in modernizing the game, they would have to make the combat good enough for people to enjoy now. So a little bit of a concern there, I guess.
Yeah.
But Konami it does seem to be pretty hands-on with the game, so I'm pretty sure the quality will be there.
Yeah. Well, it'll be kind of hard in the aspect of a lot of people will compare it with nostalgia and think that, well, the original was better or things like that, which happens a lot with games. But
it's been such a long time since this game originally released on the PlayStation 2, so I think that probably the people that will buy it would be new to the series.
yeah, partially. But also, well, people probably have forgotten about the tank controls and the combat not being great even in this one. So
Yeah, there might be some kind of an area of like nostalgia overriding your original experience, maybe. Yeah, because like similar game with tank controls, Biohazard or Resident Evil, Code Veronica, one of my favorite Biohazard/Resident Evil games. It has tank controls, and if you play it now, it's not that great in the control side. But I remember it feeling really great back then. There is some adjustments that they would need to modernize in controls and everything. Yami Kawaii Dash says, I hope the story doesn't get any change. I think. But obviously, like, Bloober was so inspired by Silent Hill, the series itself, as a company, so I think they probably won't try to change. At least, the meat and potatoes of the story, huh?
yeah. Well, there's probably not really much meaning in changing most of it.
Yeah.
I guess maybe some of the hokey lines.
Yeah.
There are some ones that are like, what? kind of things, but the overall stuff, I don't think they'd really change.
Yeah, but I think that might be, well, like, I read some stuff about, like, what Dusk Golem was saying about the process of the game, and, like, apparently Konami was looking for a company that they felt matched the game, and Bloober pitched the game.
Did I scare
to
you?
them, and
Yeah,
oh, wait,
you did.
cutscene.
The evil kid.
You're here to find Mary, aren't you, James? Well, have you?
No. Is that why you're here too?
She's here, isn't she? If you know where she is, tell me. I'm tired of walking.
I wish I knew.
But she said it in her letter.
What letter?
Wanna read it? But don't tell Rachel, okay?
Who's Rachel?
She was our nurse.
Kawaii
I took
Dash
it from her
asks,
locker.
Has he seen Angela's story yet? I assume, asking, has James gone through the Angela story yet? No?
I don't think so. I've only kind of seen her so far. And I only saw her in the apartment, and then with the weird room, and then she was saying you're a liar and stuff. I guess, yeah. So I guess maybe I haven't. Not 100%
fully, not through to the end yet, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, so going back, apparently Konami has been really, careful with who they chose to work for with this series. So I kind of trust Konami in trusting Bloober, kind of. I know, Konami, recent Konami has been really on and off, and they haven't really been making games themselves too much. But I do think they would be careful with this game because it's really important. Oh, Yami Kawaii Dash says it's so good. Well, I'll look forward to that then, huh?
Yeah. Need to find out.
Yeah.
I guess it'll have to be after I go through the first playthrough.
Yeah, I guess.
Laura, how old are you?
I turned 8 late last week.
So, Mary couldn't have died 3 years ago. Could she really be here? Is this the quiet, beautiful place she was talking about?
Me and Mary talked a lot about Silent Hill. She even showed me all her pictures. She really wanted to come back. That's why I'm here. Maybe you'll get it if you see the other letter. The one Mary... Huh? I must have dropped it.
Laura!
I gotta find it.
Laura!
And the plot thickens.
Yeah. He finally gave you that letter after trying to kill you with those weird things in the hotel.
Yeah. They do a good job of gradually building on the suspense of the game, huh?
Yeah. You can kind of see the cat. Got the fish key. Controller is shaking. I'm still almost dead.
Something's happening. This isn't gonna end good.
This does not look good.
I guess that ended good.
I guess it's Suddenly, those weird ones right there. Stick doesn't seem to work against it.
I guess you should stick with your guns in this part, huh?
Yeah. Looks like I need a videotape now.
It is pretty cool to think that Konami was able to make a game that was this atmospheric back in the PS2 era, huh?
Yeah.
They really took advantage of the new, way of lighting and more interactive, like dynamic lighting, that was implemented in that era of games, huh?
Yeah. A lot of places thought really hard to cover up for the shortcomings of the hardware power in the era.
Yeah. That goes back to Silent Hill 1 also, using the fog as a way to, make the draw distance really short but still give you a sense of scale. And, this is coming from someone who actually didn't play Silent Hill 1. But, I like to read stuff about interesting tech and stuff from the olden ages and stuff, so that's a game I need to buy and play on the PlayStation. I've been wanting to get that for a while. I need to check it out sometime. I actually liked that technique back then, during the PlayStation 1 and the Sega Saturn era, where they would kind of, I guess Nintendo 64, actually, where they would have like the polygons fade into the horizon to make it look like there's like the draw distance is so far that the vanishing point,
Yeah.
you can see the vanishing point in a sense. I like that technique actually. There was a snowboarding game back on the Sega Saturn called Steep Slope Sliders that was made by Cave.
The memories.
Yeah, they took full advantage of that because the Saturn wasn't particularly a very strong game machine for 3D, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that was like an extreme sports snowboarding game. It was kind of open mountain, kind of. But they had like large mountains and they set courses and tracks down like one large mountain to make different courses. So it was a fairly like 1, 2, or 3 like fairly large maps. They used that technique to kind of make it look like there's that you can see really far by creating like a vanishing point and the polygons kind of disappearing into the horizon kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's still one of my favorite extreme sports games actually. If you can actually track that down and get it, Steep Slope Sliders is still a gem. Actually. People who know about Cave would probably be surprised that they made an extreme sports game. We have a couple of games like that. Some unusual games, like the Ninja Jump.
The Ninja.
And also the, what brain was it?
Instant brain.
Instant brain or something? Yeah. It's a text adventure game, right?
Text adventure game. And you can also use the Kinect.
They're actually one of my favorite companies. Catalog-wise, right? I really hope they do.
Nice if they can make a comeback. Just kind of been re-releasing their catalog on like smartphone and PC.
Yeah, but at least they're licensing their games to places like City Connection.
Yeah, well,
Akai Katana Shin
yeah.
is going to be released on the Xbox and PlayStation and a Switch and PC, I think.
Yeah.
This month, right? I think so.
I think so.
Yeah. Well, I wonder if the hospital siren is being picked up by the microphones right now.
Yeah.
Probably.
I think that's the first time I heard hospital sirens
while you're
an ambulance
is
pass by.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
First
we actually
time ever.
Yeah, the
World premiere.
the world hospital sirens. Yeah. But you actually live fairly close to a couple large hospitals.
Yeah.
It's actually strange that hasn't happened before, huh?
Kind of, yeah.
Well, since you're wandering around, I guess we can go back to Game
Yeah.
Awards. After Us, a game published by Private Division and made by Piccolo Studios. It looked pretty cool. It's an indie game. It's the world is it's like post-apocalyptic world, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you release spirits of things and kind of restore nature. Art direction is pretty cool. Looks like it might be pretty interesting. Oh yeah, one of my favorite trailers is Replaced. The 2D 3D game. It has such a nice it has such nice art direction, and the techniques that they use to try to create a 2D-like world with 3D input is really cool to see. The animations are fantastic in it, too. I'm really, really looking forward to it. That's actually one of the games I'm looking forward to the most next year. The trailer for that. If you haven't seen that, check the new Replace trailer. It's an awesome kind of cyberpunk noir world. 3D, 2D. If you think kind of what's it called? I forgot the name. That Square Enix RPG, Octopath Traveler. If you think kind of Octopath Traveler, much higher resolution, really, really fluid animations, and kind of side-scrolling action platform, with really, really cool cinematics in that art style. Kind of get the point. Really great art direction. Street Fighter 6 was, they announced the release date, although it leaked.
Yeah, before the show.
Like every announcement
Totally.
for the release date leaked before the show, either on the PlayStation Store or the Xbox Store or Steam database. But anyway, Street Fighter 6, it will be released in 2023, June 2nd. In the new trailer that they announced, they showed a lot of new cool stuff. They also showed DJ, the new design for DJ for the first time. I actually really like the direction they took his design in. It's less generic and more kind of, I don't know, more. It kind of matches the character better, huh? Manon, who is a judo fighter, I think. Pretty cool looking character, new character. JP, also a new character. Kind of has like Omega Rugal kind of vibes, if you know that character.
King of Fighters.
Yes. And Marisa. I will be using Marisa. Really huge, really muscular, Greek, like, Pancration fighting style. Awesome. Looks really cool, too. Like, you have the front kick and kind of the UFC kind of ultimate fighting style. Looks like a fun character to play. I'll be playing that character. Also, she's a jewelry designer, and she's Italian. Interesting setting. They definitely had fun with the setting of the characters with this one. It makes it interesting, in my opinion. A lot of variety and a lot of color. It launches with a standard, deluxe, and ultimate edition. The standard edition comes with the base game. There are pre-order special things you get. The deluxe edition comes with like the extra costumes and colors. The ultimate edition comes with a season pass that has all the costumes and colors and character pass, and the costumes and colors for those characters too within it. So it's probably worth getting the ultimate edition, because I actually really like the art direction with this one more than Street Fighter V. So with Street Fighter V, I was like, I'm not sure if I want the character. I'm not sure if I want all the costumes, but with this one, I think it would be worth having the extra costumes. They announced Hades 2 for PC. I assume it will launch on all the other consoles eventually. Looks awesome as usual. Great art direction too.
Yeah, I completed 1, so I'll have to be going through 2.
Yeah, you got all the achievements on that game, huh?
Yeah.
You were playing that like nuts.
Yeah.
You were like addicted to that game for a while.
Yeah. The Hercules quest was pain though.
Oh yeah, you were saying
he would not move forward in his conversation. I didn't think the guy that's always there would take the longest to progress. I was finished with the main story before I was finished with his.
Yeah, actually, huh?
Yeah.
Judas was announced from the creator of BioShock. Looks interesting.
Yeah.
It's not. well, I've heard about the game so much. I wasn't that impressed. You know, this is just my taste. I'm not saying, you know, you shouldn't be excited about it. This is just my personal preference kind of thing. I'm not too excited about it. An interesting approach. I'd have to see more about the game, actually. Trailer is pretty interesting looking, but I want to see more. Suicide Squad trailer, kind of the same opinion. They've showed that a lot of times, but they haven't shown too much of the gameplay. So I want to see the gameplay more. You know.
Yeah.
I hope it does better than Gotham Knights. I see some people saying that they really, really like the game, but a lot of people also saying that there are too many issues with it. Still a little bit skeptical about Suicide Squad. Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, was it the full title?
Yeah.
Graphics are good, but I want to see more gameplay.
Yeah.
On the contrary, Star Wars Jedi Survivor was mostly just gameplay.
Yeah.
The gameplay looks really good. Looks like they're putting a lot more variety in the fighting styles. You can have dual wielding lightsabers. A lot of different Jedi skills, it seems like. It looks to be pretty awesome. They might not be, like, innovating like crazy with the game compared to the first one, maybe, but people really like the first game. I really like the first game too, so I wouldn't really want them to change too much. An organic growth of what they were trying to do with that is fine with me, and it seems to do so.
Yeah.
So that trailer was pretty cool too. Dune Awakening, the MMO Dune game. Graphics are pretty good for an MMO game. It is an interesting world, so I could see it working in a shared world. I'm not too much of an MMO person, so I'm not sure if I like actively engage with that game, but it is a cool setting, and I'm sure it would be a cool world to explore and do a lot of stuff in. So again, I'd like to see a little bit more about it. Also, you know, just to be fair, although Jenny's streaming is about is Xbox centric or Xbox, totally Xbox, exclusively Xbox actually, and I am generally an Xbox gamer too. Just to be fair, the Death Stranding 2 trailer was announced, and that is for the PlayStation 5. But I personally thought it was one of the best games in the game show. As usual, I'm not the biggest fan of Kojima, but you can't deny that he is a fantastic director. He has how he directs the scenes and everything he's one of the best in the industry still. And personally, I do like some of his earlier stuff more. This is just my taste personally. My favorite game from him is Police Knots probably, but
Police Knots was great.
God, I'd love to see
I really like that on the Saturn.
Yeah.
I remember using the light gun with it on the shooting parts.
But still, Death Stranding 2 looks really good. I'm in the process of going through Death Stranding 1 on the PC right now. So I'll probably play that sometime on the PC. It'll probably come out like a year or so after the PlayStation 5 or something.
Sadly, I need a better PC.
Oh yeah, you need to upgrade
my
your PC.
PC is too potato. It's too mushy.
It's too mushy.
It's too mushy to run a high spec game.
Your PC is not only a potato, it's a rotten potato. It's fermenting.
Yeah. But you can't make moonshine without fermented potatoes.
Ah, you have a point there. I don't know what the point is, but you have a point. Yeah, so that was that. Wayfinder. This is a game that is being co-developed with Digital Eclipse. I forgot the name of the comic artist. Made a new game company that they're working this game called Wayfinder on. It's multiplayer, fantasy, action game. It's partnering with PlayStation. It will release on the PC, PlayStation 4, and PlayStation 5. But the reason I'm bringing it up is that it's scheduled for spring 23, but it is also scheduled to follow. It's an F2P game, by the way. It's also scheduled to follow to launch on multiple consoles in fall 23. So it will eventually come to other platforms. Graphically, I think they could probably pull it off on the Switch too, if they really bring the resolution in. I mean, Fortnite runs on the Switch, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's an F2P game, so I would imagine that they would want it on everything. So, especially the Switch, right? So that's that.
Wait, I need to become absent for a second.
Oh, you need to become absent for a second. Should I just continue to babble on?
Please do.
Okay. Well, this is a first. Well, if you're still there,
premiere.
world premiere. Hey, they don't do that anymore on the the Game Awards, huh? Yeah. I like that world premiere. Wait, I'll use, since Jenny isn't here, I'll use the voice changer and sound like the devil for a while. World premiere. I've always wanted to mess with the voice changer a little bit more, but especially with the low voice. Should I just switch to the low voice right now when Jenny's gone? Yeah, I think I will. I'm not sure how, audible the information will be, but why not?
Okay, so I'll sound like the devil for a while. Or I'll sound like Kratos. Anyways, this is really distracting, huh? Yeah, I'll go back to my normal voice.
Yeah, okay. We're back. EA had announced Immortals of Avium. It's a single-player, first-person shooter. That's a kind of a magical fantasy setting. The graphics are really good. The designs are pretty cool. It kind of reminded me of Avowed that Microsoft did not show this time around. I guess the biggest beef I would have with the show this time is that, although I thought everyone was saying, well, it has good pacing, but I still think the Game Awards has terrible pacing, even this time. Even this time, although it might have been better than before, the pacing was still bad. But the biggest gripe I had is actually with Microsoft. I mean, what the hell, show something. I guess they're trying to be cautious with the Activision Blizzard King buyout, and they're kind of playing their cards too close to themselves. But anyways, going back, Immortals of Avium, single-player first-person magic shooter. It's being made by Ascendant Studios, which is a new studio that they put together about 4 years ago. Some of the developers of Dead Space and Call of Duty created this studio and are working on this game. It looks pretty cool. Like I said, it kind of reminds me of a little bit more of a Avowed with a sci-fi splash kind of thing. It's kind of weird to say it reminds me of that since they've only showed that once, but anywho. Okay, well, Jenny's back.
Yeah. I heard the call of nature, so I had to follow it.
Yeah. I don't think people will be discriminating on that.
Or as Nintendo fans would say, the breath of the wild.
Breath of the Wild.
I heard the breath of the wild.
That's a cool way of saying. It's a cool way of replacing Call of Nature, I guess. I answered. I followed the breath of the wild. It led me to the toilet.
or the Call of Duty.
Call of Duty. That's actually good too, huh? Actually, game names actually kind of fit that pseudonym, huh?
Seem to,
yeah. Also, they showed a story and gameplay trailer for Tekken 8.
Yeah.
There was a rumor they were going to announce when they were going to launch it next year, but they didn't do that. But it looks pretty done.
Yeah,
I
it
would
does.
I would imagine that they
Definitely.
would want to release it early enough to be a part of Evo. But then again, I would also imagine that they wouldn't really want to keep it too close to Street Fighter 6.
Possibly, yeah.
Graphics are good.
Yeah.
The story is over the top as usual.
Yeah.
Like, all hell has broken loose, huh?
Is there any Tekken that hell hasn't broken loose and like demons and monsters are there and cyborg people and kangaroos and pandas and stuff?
Yeah. Well, I guess there's a reason why it holds the Guinness World Record of having the longest ongoing story for a fighting game.
Yeah.
Looks cool. Although I'm looking forward to that, I do have to throw some shade and salt at Harada for never optimizing the console versions of Tekken 7.
Yeah.
I will never forgive them for that. I'm joking, but you know. But I think everyone agrees with that. Everyone who's playing that game on console, whether it's the PlayStation or the Xbox One, I mean, for God's sake, patch it, right?
You'd think so.
You can push a little bit more resolution out of those games. Huh. So anyways, that's that. Diablo 4 launch trailer. Pre-rendered movie. Still, pretty cool pre-rendered movie. It'll be launching on June 6th, 2024. They are already accepting, they already opened pre-orders. Everything I've read about it is, looks like it's a really great game. Sounds like it's fun. Strangely, I've never played Diablo.
I know.
I enjoy Diablo-like
not.
games, but I've never actually played Diablo. It's really weird.
Yeah.
I don't know, it might have to do with me not liking Activision.
Yeah.
Which is pretty ironic that Microsoft, my favorite, my preferred platform holder, is buying out a company that I don't give two shits about.
Well, was that? There's that kind of void area where neither of us were playing games.
For a couple of years, yeah, you know.
And it was during that period that Diablo 3 came out on consoles,
yeah.
so we never got around it.
Yeah, when we were a little bit younger and we were playing games actively too, we were like Diablo 1, Diablo 2. Well, apparently it's a really awesome PC game, but we weren't really playing on PC back then, so.
Yeah.
So we missed those, and then when Diablo 3 came out on consoles, we were both of us were well, you get busy with life, right?
Yeah.
We were both away from games for a couple of years.
Yeah.
And
to put lightly, I did shit I didn't want to do for years, and then I got sick.
Yeah. And it turned into health issues, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And more or less, I am dead as a human being because of that. I can't do a lot of stuff because I am in poor health.
Are you telling me that I'm talking to a walking corpse?
Yes.
Wow.
If you didn't realize, I am the Walking Dead.
You are the Walking Dead. Okay.
Robert Kirkman was talking about me when he wrote that. I am the Walking Dead.
Okay, well, there's a huge plot twist, huh?
Yeah.
Well, leaving the silliness aside, yeah, Diablo 4 looks really cool. Apparently it is really cool. Looking forward to that. They announced Armored Core 6, Fires of Rubicon, again, a pre-rendered movie, but I'm looking forward to seeing an Armored Core with a big budget.
Yeah.
Right? There's mech games just don't really get a budget anymore, and
Yeah.
As a person that grew up in Japan, when most of the anime was mech anime,
Yeah.
you know, I miss those mech games. I so much, you know. I want like amazing mech games, but so I'm actually naturally I'm really excited for Armored Core 6.
Yeah. I miss those anime with the talking robots.
Oh yeah. You know, and some of those actually splashed over regions and became internationally successful IPs like Transformers.
Yeah, Transformers was one, yeah.
Yeah. Also, Splash Damage announced the Transformer multi-play. Well, you can play with multiple people game. Look, the trailer looks pretty cool. I think it's only announced for PC so far, but we'll see, I guess. Going back to Armored Core, it will be released on everything. Basically, all the stuff that I'm picking up, most of it is released for everything, but Armored Core is released for everything, as it should be.
Yeah.
I appreciate that about Bandai Namco, right?
Yeah.
They've been really, really persistent in trying to release their games on everything recently.
Yeah.
And I really appreciate that about them.
I think like the only thing they've released recently that wasn't released on all consoles was the Captain Tsubasa game.
That and oh yeah, actually I think that's about the only one, huh?
Yeah, that's kind of bizarre.
Oh yeah, and for foreign gamers, the Digimon Survive game that's actually sold 500,000 copies so far, apparently globally. That's actually good. I wouldn't imagine a Digimon text adventure game would sell that well. Anyways, to foreign gamers, you can buy that on Xbox, but if you live in Japan, you're screwed.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't release that in Japan for the Xbox. That sucks. So, well, anyways, you can still go around and buy it. You know, you can order from Amazon the physical version, or you can get American Microsoft dollars and buy it from the American store, even from Japan. So there are ways to get around it, but still sucks. Those are about the only ones. Other than that, Bandai Namco has had a good track record. One of the best from Japanese publishers in supporting everything. Recently, Capcom has been doing good, especially after they announced Monster Hunter Rise for everything other than the Switch and PC. I'm happy about that too. It's good that PlayStation gamers can play that too. Strangely, I've seen a lot of PlayStation gamers complain about that in Japan. It's like, why didn't? Yeah, it's weird. But these are just like the fanboys. Some fanboys were like, "You should have just released it for the PlayStation in first place. You're wasting my time and money," kind of thing. It's like, for God's sake, just be happy that you can play the games. Anyways, those people probably aren't really PlayStation fans. They're just like, I don't know. They probably have a terrible life and they're venting or something. So anyways, going back to Bandai Namco.
They're gatekeepers of some kind of mystery society or something.
Yeah. Mystery Society.
Yeah.
Ominous. Going back to Bandai Namco, and keeping a good track record and releasing their games on everything. Blue Protocol was announced. It was originally announced only for PC, and they've done a couple of beta tests.
Weird, it's Bandai Namco and yet it's Amazon.
Yeah, it's published by Amazon globally. I guess it makes sense because that's an F2P game, and they want to release it at a global scale, and I would assume that they're going with AWS for the servers for the game. And it would be hell expensive to do that themselves. So that's actually a pretty good move on them, huh? Right? So I assume that they're partnering with Amazon to scale the F2P game at a global level and not have like a ridiculous price on doing that, right? Has really nice it has really nice graphics. That it has a really good cell shader, convincing cell shader. I personally like the art direction in it. It's a little bit, it's a little bit more laid back than some of the ultra fancy, over the top kind of designs that you see in the stuff that you would expect from like MiHoYo. A little too flashy, in my personal opinion. A little bit laid back, a little bit more simplified designs, more anime-like. Personally, I like the art direction for it. Anyways, it's going to be released for PC, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X. It is targeting the second half of 2023, and the PC version, I think, will have another beta test in the first half of 2023. Looks pretty cool. Remnant 2 trailer. The graphics are a lot better than the first Remnant from the Assets game, huh?
Yeah.
The first one is actually pretty good looking too, but
I kept hearing people say it's really good, and it's a good Souls-like with guns, and I just like finished my the first one I ever played, which was the Mortal Shell, which I liked a lot.
And you also completed that game, huh?
Yeah. How did I miss this? This must be where I can finally use this fish key. Key for 2. Well, that was wacky. Yeah.
Weird thing to miss.
Yeah. Going back to that. It went through my first Souls-like game with Mortal Shell, which I got because it looked cool.
Yeah, the main character in that design is pretty cool, huh?
Yeah. It looked cool and brooding, which it was. I never downloaded the metal soundtrack that you could put into it, but I actually kind of enjoyed the silence and the kind of echoing or the brooding sounds you'd hear from a distance.
I actually haven't went through that game yet, so I should give it a try sometime.
Yeah. But I picked it up after that because that sounded interesting, that it's a Souls-like game with guns, and I still haven't gone through it yet. So I should try to go through it
before the second one comes out, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Graphically, it looks a lot better than the first one. The animations look really good. The VFX look a lot better, a lot more polished too. Good trailer. If you haven't seen it, you should check it out. One of the better trailers from the Video Game Awards. Also, Banishers, an action RPG from Don't Nod, and unfortunately published by Focus Entertainment.
That shouldn't have Japanese in it then.
Probably. It will be released by Oizumi Amuseo, and they will lock Japanese behind a timed exclusive, and that's not even exclusivity. They'll lock Japanese out of the game until they can release a physical version of it themselves. Bastards.
Yeah.
Anyways, it looked really good though. It looked interesting. Don't Nod never disappoints in storytelling, so I'm sure that's won't be an exception. Cool trailer. Seems like an interesting concept. I assume that's probably from the team that made the vampire game. Vampire?
Yeah.
I don't know how you pronounce that. Is it Vampire?
Vampire.
Also, Space Marines 2, World of Warhammer 40,000, huh? I was about to say World of Warhammer. It's like a new spin-off of the World of Warcraft games. World of Warhammer. It's a collaboration. World of Warhammer 40,000.
Or as they say, it's a collaboration.
Collaboration. Yeah, Space Marine 2 looks fun. Huh. first time they showed it looked like a lot of fun too, but the second time they showed it, it still looks fun. The first game was on 360, and it's a gem, actually. It's kind of a hidden gem. It's backwards compatible, so if you can pick it up and you own a Series X, I guess if it's a physical version, you need to play it. You need to have a Series X to play it. It's backwards compatible, so you might want to pick that up and maybe play it before the second one comes out. Looks like a fun game. Lords of the Fallen 2. Pretty cool trailer. Similarly to Remnant 2, the graphics are leaps and bounds better than the first one, but Lords of the Fallen 1 came out a long time ago, huh?
Yeah.
That's been in the oven for a while.
Yeah, indeed.
Looks cool though. Crash Team Rumble. Looks like good fun for the family. Crime Boss Rockay City. A lot of famous people in it.
Yeah.
If you're a Vanilla Ice fan, Ice Baby. Looks like it has a potential.
Yeah.
It's a first person. It's
Go
in first
Ninja.
person. Go Ninja?
Don't you remember the song from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2? The Go Ninja song? He was in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 movie.
Oh, you're talking about
it's not Michael Bay. Why did I forget his name? No, it is Michael Bay. Oh.
Yeah.
Not the Michael Bay CG one. The original live action one.
The original live action.
Number 2.
Second Turtles movie.
When there's the fight scene in the club, there's the Go Ninja song that
Vanilla Ice is singing.
Yeah. I can't believe you forgot that.
Yeah, well, you can't blame me. That's like, how long ago was it?
How could you?
Anyways, the cast is pretty cool with that game. Huh.
Yeah.
It looks like it has a lot of promise. Actually, there's not a lot of crime games in first person, huh?
Not
They tend to be
anymore,
in
yeah.
third person. I'm not sure if it's because of Grand Theft Auto or not, but so actually, I'm looking forward to that game. I hope it's good. It looks good,
Yeah.
and it also seems.
I heard rumors that it was going to be a sequel, a reboot or a new one of the true crime ones, and it doesn't seem like it's like that.
Yeah, it seems like that was probably just. I guess those rumors came from random rambling on the internet, I guess, huh?
Must have, yeah.
Still, it looks like a fun game.
Yeah.
I am still hoping for a sequel to Sleeping Dogs sometime, though. I really hope that Embracer was able to pick up that IP. It would be such a waste if Square Enix still has that IP.
Yeah.
Sleeping Dogs is one of my favorite games of all time, actually. So, man, I hope they make a sequel to that sometime. Even a spiritual successor. Right?
It would be nice, yeah.
Yeah. So there's that. There's also the Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty DLC trailer. That was actually really cool. Idris Elba, the actor, plays one of the main characters in the story.
You mean Knuckles?
Knuckles, yeah, he voiced Knuckles in Sonic 2, huh? Oh.
He is Knuckles.
Wouldn't it be really cool if in that DLC you could romance Idris Elba?
Can you?
I don't know, but I would like to.
I think if they did, there would be people who would buy it for sure.
Yeah.
People would be like, "What? I get to hump Idris Elba."
That would be kind of cool. But anyways, the graphics look great, as Cyberpunk is already. Looks like the story is really interesting. They're adding an entire new area to the city. It seems like it's a really extensive DLC, and I'm looking forward to buying and playing that. Looks great.
You're gonna get Keanu and Edith.
Get Keanu and Idris Elba. That's most of the stuff from the Game Awards.
Oh, really?
Recap, yeah.
You actually went through most of the stuff?
Yeah, actually, I did. Well, small stuff, I guess. Joseph Fares was awesome as usual. Even with a limited amount of time, he's still funny, still entertaining, and still engaging.
Yeah.
You can tell that he's just really a natural storyteller, huh?
Yeah.
He's really good at, getting his point out there directly and not, fumbling over himself. Always entertaining.
For being a pretty goofy guy, his games can be pretty heavy.
Yeah, his games are actually really heavy, huh? But
Yeah.
I guess, unless you have a sense of humor, you can't really depict tragedy in a sense, huh?
Yeah.
You have to know comedy to know tragedy, and you kind of have to know tragedy to know comedy. Huh? Kind of goes hand in hand, kind of.
Well, what was it? Will Smith said it a long time ago. You can't be sexy and funny at the same
At the
time.
same time. Wasn't him slapping Chris Rock might have been sexy and funny at the same time, though. What?
I thought it was pretty damn funny.
Yeah.
I'm tired of seeing whining comedians get away with anything and everything.
Yeah. It's like, it's just a joke.
They're like those boomers that are like that say everything and are offensive to everyone, and then you say something to them and it's like snowflakes. It's just a joke.
Yeah.
It's like and if you call them boomer, they like explode.
Yeah. By the way, in no means are we endorsing violence upon other people. That's not the point.
Violence is unacceptable unless they're not funny.
If they're not funny.
If you're not funny, you deserve violence.
You should serve, but I don't know. It's Will Smith is not like a weak person. If he wanted to, he probably could have knocked the wind out of Chris Rock. So I don't think he was really that serious with it.
Well, if he was serious, he would have broken his face in, and he would have been lying flat there like he was dead or something.
Yeah. Well, anyways. Now that's becoming violent. But anyways, like I was saying, I just to be clear, not endorsing violence here. Also, not endorsing verbal violence either, right? Which a bad joke, in my opinion, can be verbal violence. So that's that. Anyways.
And the sheer existence of James Corden is violence.
James Corden is violence.
That mofo needs to have his ass thoroughly whipped.
They need to introduce James Corden to Will Smith, huh?
Yeah. If I was in an expensive restaurant and I heard a fat pig screaming and shouting, I would go over and knock him out. I wouldn't pay a couple $100 to hear a pig screaming and yelling for an hour or something.
Because the order was slightly wrong, or
Yeah.
or things like that. Well, again, we aren't endorsing violence.
It's only that he deserves sheer violence.
It's only James Corden. James Corden deserves violence, apparently, according to Jenny.
Yeah.
But we aren't endorsing violence.
Yeah, his performance in Cats also deserved violence.
The performance for everyone in Cats deserves violence.
The director deserves violence.
Yeah, more than anything. I mean, come on, the dude wanted to put CG anuses on the cats.
Well,
Deserves violence.
it would have been a legend in a different way if that actually happened. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I think things are starting to get ridiculous.
yeah,
huh?
they are. I think we should go away from.
Yeah.
Maybe right now it might be a good time to wrap up the stream. Huh?
Yeah, it's about time to wrap up.
Yeah,
Well,
one final short thing.
wait, no, before you go to the final thing, I don't think whoops. I don't think I went around to jabbing the keys like he deserved to.
Okay.
No, it's pretty funny that he tried really hard not to say PlayStation exclusive during the show several times.
Yeah.
For the sake of Jimbo, and also I thought it was funny and disturbing that every time they had the promotion thing for the Samsung Smart TV and the Game Pass app, he looked like he was gonna vomit every time he said Xbox Game Pass.
Yeah. Well.
He looked like it was like torture saying those words.
Yeah. Well, Jeff Keighley generally looks like he's about to throw up most of the time. So.
The Keys always looks like he's gonna hurl.
Yeah.
Other than when Kojima's around.
Only when he's around Kojima, is he genuinely happy. Other than that, he's a miserable person who's about to throw up all the time, right?
That is mean.
That's a joke.
I did not say that he's a miserable person that looks like he's gonna throw up.
He gives the impression of being that kind of person. I'm sure he's fine. I see him on Twitter. He's a fine dude.
No, he's not.
Really? He's not a fine dude?
I can understand he hates Xbox for reasons or whatever, but I do not accept the fact that he obviously seems to not like Sega or Sonic or anything involving Sega.
Yeah, well, I guess that's an interesting point. I don't really mind if he's biased toward PlayStation. Everyone is biased to something.
I hope they put him in Like a Dragon 8, and you can whoop his ass is one of the petty enemies that come out of it.
Yeah, well, apparently he hates Sega, so he wouldn't be in a Sega game, right?
Yeah, so that will never happen.
Wild conspiracy theories being thrown out there. Anyways, we're joking about this, okay? I'm sure Jeff Keighley is a fine dude, and he's doing what he can to promote games. Yeah, he is biased toward PlayStation, but that's okay too. I mean, everyone's biased to something. Well, I guess, but again, a game that they didn't say is exclusive to PlayStation. Although it is exclusive to PlayStation, at least for a period of time. Final Fantasy 16, they had a trailer there, announced that it will be released in 2023, June 22nd. What's interesting is that for the first time, they actually showed the duration of the timed exclusivity for the game. And it is exclusive for half a year. So it will launch on the PlayStation 5 exclusively. Exclusive. World premiere. Exclusive. The exclusivity lasts until 2023, December 31st. Upon it will be released on the Epic Games Store, probably.
No, it'll be released on the PlayStation 4, and then half a year later, it'll be the Epic Store, and then half a year later, it'll be the Steam Store. And then half a year later, it'll be GOG Store.
And then a year later, Yoshida will say they'll bring it to Xbox and then ignore everything for another year and be asked later in some random interview, weren't you going to bring that to Xbox? And he's like, we're too busy to actually port that now.
Yeah, like FF14, they were like,
yeah.
Oh, we're so busy we can't even have interns working on the port.
Yeah, well, there's no such thing. There's no such thing as outsourcing, right?
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm not trying to troll the dude.
The
but-
only outsourcing that Square Enix employees do is insider trading.
Yeah. Don't go there. Don't go there.
And then once you leave the company, they rat you out. They rat you out of the circle, so only you suffer.
More conspiracy theories. So, anyways,
You heard it here first.
world review, right? Anyways, I'm not trying to like take a dump on anyone. I'm just joking, playful joking, right? Anyways, there is a chance that it will come to Xbox eventually, because it is a half-year exclusive to PlayStation 5.
Yeah,
And
yeah, like FF7R, yeah.
Yeah, well, just giving them the benefit of doubt, right? If it does come to Xbox, great, I'll play it. If it doesn't, just like Final Fantasy 7R, well, maybe sometime. But anyways, like I said,
They're
giving-
expecting you to play Crisis Core next week without playing 7R.
yeah, well, it's a prequel, right? So, anyways, that was that. Overall, I thought the show wasn't bad. It was pretty stacked. There was a lot of stuff, but I do think the pacing was bad. Because I don't know. I'm not sure if that's because of the show or if it's because the pacing was stumped by Kratos dude. But I don't know. Either way, it was hard for me to pay a lot of attention to the show because of long acceptance speeches.
It would get into so boring that you forgot that trailers were running, kind of stuff.
Sometimes.
My
but
brain turned off several times because I was
couple
so
of times.
tired and sleepy.
I still think they showed too many commercials, right?
Hey, talk about that. What happened to the Stadia commercials? They had so many of them a couple years back.
Oh, you don't know.
What? Stadia is dead?
Were you under a rock or something? No, even if you weren't under a rock, you wouldn't know. Unfortunately, even if you were engaging in game news, you wouldn't know that Stadia launched and died, probably.
In Japan, they launched and died without anyone knowing.
Yeah, well, yeah,
You couldn't even access it ever.
yeah, that's that. Yeah, it's no wonder, right?
Thank God I had no faith in them in the first place.
Yeah,
I would have been pissed if I actually thought it was kind of an interesting idea.
Well, there is GeForce Now. That's serviced in Japan. Actually, I have a GeForce Now account.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I do. Bizarrely, I don't use it. I don't use it, but I have GeForce Now.
But you get like an hour or so free every day, right?
Yeah,
So you could use it if you wanted.
I could use it if I wanted, but I have a friggin' gaming PC. Why the hell would I want to use GeForce Now when I can play the games locally? Anyways, well, that was fun.
Yeah.
Overall, the trailers they showed were cool. Just to be fair, although this is an Xbox-centric podcast, and this is Jenny's podcast,
Yeah.
well, not podcast stream. I'm a part of it.
Yeah, it's almost a podcast.
It's almost a
since
podcast, yeah. It's mostly
there's
talking.
so much
huh?
talking.
Yeah. Anyways, just to give my 2 cents of the show, the biggest disappointment for me actually wasn't the show itself, was how absent Microsoft was. As a Microsoft fan or Xbox fan, it kind of pisses me off that they didn't even try for this. I know the reasons why, right? Right? They didn't want to show too much because of the ABK buyout and everything, and that's kind of affecting the news cycle overall in the industry.
Because Jimbo would have brought that up. Like they have all these games, they don't need Activision Blizzard.
Yeah, but still, this is such a good opportunity to promote your games that your devs are working on, regardless of the ABK buyout, I really wish they showed something. That's my point. That's my opinion.
Well,
I mean,
yeah,
the devs
of
deserve.
course. I would have liked to see
Yeah, the
something.
devs deserve to get the spotlight, right? All the, yeah, I would have loved to see that, but just again, benefit of doubt. Aaron Greenberg after the show, I guess, like everyone on Twitter is shitting on them right now for not showing anything. So, Aaron Greenberg, the PR dude, the PR dude, right? You knowing the PR dude wasn't there.
Mm-hmm.
He's in Europe right now. Aaron Greenberg's in Europe right now. I think he was saying he's out of the country, and he couldn't make it to the show this year. The second the PR dude is
he was stranding in Europe.
yeah, he was death stranding in Europe. The second the PR dude isn't there, or chief isn't there, you know that they're not going to have anything to show, probably.
The PR Master Chief.
Yeah. But anyways, he was saying that.
Does that make Sarah Bond Cortana?
Oh, I like that. Aaron Green Chief and Bontana. That sounds so bad. Anyways, well, again, drifting, huh?
Yeah.
Anyways, he was saying that you won't have to wait too long for new information. I know that's probably some damage control, but still, hopefully they will show some shit sometime soon.
Yeah.
I would like that. So,
Yeah,
overall,
you know they didn't even show new stuff of Starfield because Jimbo would have been like, look, they have Starfield. They don't need Activision Blizzard. And in
Yeah,
fact,
like-
Starfield has been gated from us. We should get Starfield.
yeah, it's like they never announced Starfield for any platform for that matter, and even the FTC is like, you're taking Starfield away from your competitors. It's like, bitch, we ain't even announced it for our competitors, even ourselves. It's like,
Yeah.
anyways, before the swearing becomes more severe, I guess we should keep it merry and wrap up the stream.
Yeah.
It was an enjoyable show.
Yeah.
For better or for worse, I
Yeah.
enjoyed the Game Awards.
Well, I hope it's not anywhere as just sheer painful as it was this year.
Well,
They didn't need about 2 hours of the show.
that's really weird. It's like,
And the Keeves was like, hey, guess what, everybody? It's going to be substantially more short. No, Kratos will not have it short.
yeah, well,
God of War decided the show needed to be extra long as usual. In fact, I think it was almost longer than it was last year.
I don't know, maybe. But anyways, it's weird. The Game Awards every year. I'm like, I'm not sure if I'm going to see it next. I'm not sure if I'm going to watch it next year. There were a lot of cool stuff, but it was just so long.
Yeah, I really wished I just watched the collection of the trailers.
Yeah,
It's just
well-
so long.
And if it was going to be long, I actually wanted them to have more music performances instead of so many commercials.
Hmm.
I like the music parts.
And then they were like, "Hey, everybody, come see the Aurora concert on everywhere except Xbox."
Actually, yeah, I kind of laughed at that. The Sky game is like, we are here to connect all gamers everywhere that don't play on Xbox.
Basically, yeah.
I actually kind of got a kick out of that.
Yeah, it was like, the Keeves was like, hey, even our musical performances we're going to make exclusive.
Yeah. Well, to end on a good note, Aurora is awesome. Buy her CDs.
Yeah.
Let's wrap up the show. Every week, Jenny streams at 0 o'clock Saturday Japan time. This is Japan time. I hang out with Jenny and talk about.
I really need to search for what the time zones are for other places, huh?
Yeah, well, I'd probably think people. Well, you might want to do that actually. When you tweet about it, it might be useful, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyways, 0 o'clock Saturday, Japan time, every week in English. The Japanese streams are at 0 o'clock every Wednesday. If you would like to listen to a language that you don't understand, you're welcome to come and listen.
Yeah.
See you next week.
It can be pretty goofy.
Yeah. See you next week, and why don't you wrap up this week's show?
Well, I hope you had a good time. We'll be here next week as always, and we'll do the other show too. And surprisingly, soon I'll have stuff on YouTube if you're interested. So, yeah.
Yeah. Check out YouTube.
Hope you have a good week, and see you next week. And until then, good night and keep smiling.
Bye bye.